We're seeing exactly that. Roads that are barely passable down south. When you get about halfway between where I am and the southern tip there in Bangladesh, we understand the roads are completely cut off. Now, the government here has conducted emergency meetings both yesterday and today, and they've identified what they're saying are the 12 worst districts in the country, and these districts they're still trying to get to as aid groups get mobilized here in Dhaka, start to head south to try to help out those people. We understand the death toll has now crossed 2,000, but as we've been reporting throughout this story, we're very hesitant to warn people that it could rise again. There are simply entire areas down south of the country where communications are still down. Power is slowly coming back on in the north here in Dhaka, but in the south there's still no power, no telephone communications. That is the biggest concern of the government. We do understand that Army choppers have gotten to some of these districts and from the air have identified that there have been survivors. Now it's a matter of getting to those survivors and getting them the aid that they really need. As you mentioned, aid groups are starting to pour in, get mobilized, move south, use that as a base of operations, and try to desperately get to those regions. As you can imagine, it's incredibly difficult. This is the biggest delta in the world. You have to cross a number of rivers to get to these areas that are simply cut off. So getting boats, getting the proper supplies, getting the infrastructure up and running, really today is the main concern.
And Cal, time really, of course, as you mentioned, is of the essence right now, and you've got aid, offers of aid and assistance pouring in from other countries right now as well. What's the sense of whether or not on the ground that aid's going to make it in time to help a lot of these people who are stranded and really without food?
That's the main issue right now, and we're actually going to try to link up in the next few hours with a group, Save the Children, who are coming here into Dhaka. They're going to set up a base of operations and try to get a convoy down there south. Obviously, as the days pass, the situation gets worse. People, we understand, are desperate for shelter. They're desperate for clothing, food, and water, all those basic supplies. And as the days continue to pass since the cyclone hit, the next concern is really one of health. Of course, you want to stop the spread of disease. We're dealing, of course, down south with, unfortunately, dead bodies, a human catastrophe to a certain extent. And the concern is the spread of disease as they try to get a handle on the situation to get these supplies down to people who need them. But again, as you can see in the pictures here, the infrastructure of this country has really been brought to its knees, and it's really a matter of getting down to these areas, getting help to people who need them, and finding out exactly how many people do need help. Initial numbers are that some 280,000 families were left homeless. But again, until aid groups are able to actually get down into those regions, those numbers could jump dramatically.